Public relations is not the easiest thing to define, and it's probably because it has elements of advertising, journalism, and speech, just to name a few. The goal of PR is to serve and advocate for a client. Now, when it comes to the definition of public relations, Public Relations Society of America gave PR a definition a couple of decades ago, and that's the definition that they came up with. So, public relations is a strategic communication process that builds mutual beneficial relationships between organizations and their publics. Now, the term public relations didn't even exist in the 19th century. At the time, press agents performed many of the functions of modern PR practitioners. The best known press agent of the time was P.T. Barnum, and P.T. Barnum worked for only one client, and that was for himself. So Barnum used false claims and bribing to promote positive image about the business, and he manifested that through having good relationships with reporters and bribing them so that they would write good stories about his circus business. Now, Ivy Lee and Edward Bernays are considered to be two of the fathers of public relations. So in 1905, Ivy Lee established one of America's first pioneering PR firms, which was named Parker and Lee. And many of his theories on public relations became established during this time. Now, Ivy Lee believed that facts were open to interpretation. So he would choose to only report things that helped with the reputation of the company and leave out those that would hurt the reputation. And that's where he got his nickname as Poison Ivy. Now, Edward Bernays is the nephew of pioneer psychologist Sigmund Freud. And what Bernays did was quite interesting because he combined sociology and psychology principles in his PR tactics and strategies. So, for instance, he ran a campaign for Lucky Strike cigarettes. And he ran the campaign because it seems women didn't smoke the cigarettes, and the reason for that was the forest green cigarette package clashed with the women's wardrobe. What a big reason, right? So what Bernays did, he tried to come up with a wonderful strategy, and these were some of the things that some of the tactics in his strategy. So he convinced department stores to display green clothing in their windows so that women would see the green and would get used to it. Then he organized the green ball, and every person, every guest that was invited to this charity was supplied with a green gown. Very smart again. Then he asked psychologists to give an explanation of what the color green meant and the significance of it. And finally, he worked with fashion editors to come up with new green fashions for the fall. So, ironically, later, Bernays ran another campaign about the dangers of smoking. So it's quite interesting how sometimes companies may support a cause and later they actually change their perspective and they support the opposite of the initial cause. Now, the world's top public relations firm brings closer to $200 million a year. However, that still doesn't bring in the revenue that other media bring. If we focus on the PR industry, public relations industry can be divided into two basic categories: in-house PR departments and independent companies. In-house, most companies actually have in-house PR departments that usually take care of press releases and media requests. However, independent companies provide PR services to various clients, such as corporations and individuals, and they usually come in when they have to run a greater campaign or they have to help the in-house PR department. Now let's talk a little bit about the functions of PR industry. So there are certain functions that we're going to talk about, and let's take each one of them one by one and analyze them. So the first one is writing and editing. PR professionals do a lot of writing and editing. They write their own press releases and they have to be good editors. So they need those good eyes to be able to catch those spelling errors. That's why we insist in the department that you should be a good writer, because having the writing skills is going to help you in whichever medium you're going to work in. Then another function is media relations. So PR professionals deal with clients that do something idiotic, and then they have to fix their reputation and manage crisis or damage control. Special events is another function, and they usually run special events in the community mainly because they want to enhance the image of their company. Research is considered to be one of the most important aspects of public relations because research is used to collect public opinion about a company, an organization, or an individual. Community and consumer relations, PR firms encourage companies to get involved in their communities. And mainly they do that because, again, that's going to create visibility about their company and help them become known among the community. And finally, government relations. That's usually done through lobbyists who try to convince lawmakers to support their client or organization. Now, there's a very strong relationship between public relations and politicians. And it's probably because public relations professionals do a lot of work for politicians. So, to just name a few, PR people use research to determine voter attitudes. So when we receive the surveys in our mail or on our social media platforms asking us who we're going to vote for or what type of party would we propose, would we support, that's what a PR professional probably runs because they're wanting to understand where we stand. PR professionals develop campaigns to promote a candidate's image or agenda. They also write speeches for busy elected officials. They also save the day when politicians mess up and make a jerk of themselves in public, so they have to come up to the public and explain what happened. And then they always try to spin things in order to show that positive part or to show the change in behavior of a certain politician. So, public relations people that assist in political damage control are often called spin doctors because they are those doctors that come in to fix the surgery and help the patient survive. Now, I had the opportunity to work for a PR department when I took an internship as a graduate student, and I thoroughly enjoyed seeing how PR professionals are able to control a crisis and how they're able to communicate with the publics and bring in the media. And what I really enjoy about PR professionals is the fact that their schedule is never the same. Now they're prepared in how to control a crisis or how to overcome certain things, but every day looks different. However, they maintain a wonderful control over the situation and are able to fix anything that comes their way.